Welcome back 40k fans to another Battles at the Bunker. It is episode 3 of round 1 for our Battles at the Bunker little kind of league that Graham sorted out. And today it is the followers of the Greater Good versus the Great Devourer. It is Tau versus Tyranids. It is going to be across quite a lush terrain. We'll give you a look in a second, but it is Spearhead Assault. And it is deadlock, isn't it? So it's going to be quite an interesting one.
Yep. Starting
with 6, working all the way down, so it's going to be a bit of a rush. Obviously Tau, more renowned for being a gun line, but you're still going to have to move out there and get what you need.
See how it happens.
Yeah, we will, yeah. So, couple of things that I'm looking forward to. We'll obviously give you a look. It's been a while since I've used my Tyranids actually in real life. Obviously on YouTube and the channel, it doesn't seem that long, but it's quite a while since I've used them, and it's a long time since you've used your Tau, isn't it?
I don't think I've used the Tau with this codex.
No, you haven't. So first time Graham's using codex for Tau. So anything particular that you're interested in? You're using your Balkan Sept?
I'm using the Balkan Sept.
Yep. Yeah. So it'd be cool to see them in action.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to the more shooty aspect.
Yeah, it makes sense. I thought when we pulled it out obviously on the announcement, I thought that was a really good result that we got for Tau versus Tyranid. I thought it was very, very good. Obviously, I'm wanting to get in close, lots of teeth. You're obviously wanting to shooters. Yep, it's going to be like Starship Troopers-esque kind of thing.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So a couple of things I'm looking forward to. Obviously getting stuck in deep there. Hopefully tearing some fish heads apart. And obviously looking forward to some of the stratagems as well. You'll probably be looking forward to some stratagems to use as well.
Yes. Yep. Hopefully gives the Tau just a little bit of an edge.
Yep. Absolutely. So let's go and have a look at the table, and then we'll obviously do the lineup for the armies. Right, 40k fans, welcome to 40k Battle Report by Battleforge Brothers. This is the table that we're playing over. It is episode 3 of Battles at the Bunker. Quite a Tau presence in the middle here, very fitting considering it is Tau versus Tyranids. So with it being episode 3 of Battles at the Bunker, this is a knockout, so whoever loses will not be in the next rounds. So we have Spearhead Assault. So the white dice across here, I did win the roll off the deployment. I've chosen this rocky outcrop area around here. I think it's quite fitting that the Tyranids will be moving in this way, and Graham will be deployed over, marked by the green dice. So it kind of goes up in a V and then meet in the middle. So we do have objectives, and forgive me because my eyesight is really bad. So we have down here, we have objective 2. We have, which one's that one, Graham? 5 over there on the edge. We have objective 6. Yep. Not very good at Roman numerals. Number 1 there. We have a 1 down here as well, which is number 4. And then
number 3 over
Number 3, just need that rocky outcrop over there. So looking forward to this. So me and Graham will of course start deploying our armies. We'll run over the armies and obviously what we're looking forward to, of course, and command points. So let's go and have a look at those beautiful armies. Right, okay, so this is the Tyranid force that will be taking on the Tau today. My High Fleet Gorgoroth. However, they are using an adaptation today. I've decided to go with Kronos this time, give it a bit of a try out. So if I stay still, to reroll 1s to shoot. So might be pretty decent for me shooters in the army. So right at the back, I just mentioned as well, I am running a battalion and a spearhead detachment. So that gives me in total 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 command points, which is awesome. So right at the back we have a Mucilid Spore just deployed there just to deny any potential deep strikes. We have the X-Crine at the back here. We have 3 Carnifexes. Now these are kitted out pretty decent. It is 1985 points for this army. I could not squeeze anything else in anywhere. So these are armed with heavy venom cannons, the Scythe and Talons. They've got Thresher Scythes. They have the Spore Cysts and the Enhanced Sensors. Moving across, we have the Warlord, who is armed with Lash Whip and Bone Sword, and I have given a relic, which is the Reaper of Batreps. and of course Scythe and Talon's fame as well. Powers that this guy has is he is number 3, so he has Psychic Scream and Onslaught, and this guy is the Warlord, like I say, with wings. And then we have a squad of Termagancy with Flesh Borers, squad of Termagancy with Flesh Borers. We have the Broodlord, who has powers for him is a Paroxysm. Just almost forgot his powers there. We have a squad of Hive Guard here with Impaler Cannons. We have the Malanthrope just near this rocky outcrop here, just providing that shrouded bubble. We have another Flying Hive Tyrant with 2 twin Devourers with Brain Leech Worms. Powers that this guy has is Catalyst and the Horror. And just moving across, just Warlord trait is Adaptive Biology for this guy over here. And then just in Deep Strike, we have another Mutilid Spore coming down. We have the Trigon Prime and a squad of 10 Gene Stealers with 2 Acid Maws, Rending Claws and Scythe and Talons as well. They do have Toxin Sacs as well for that. Apart from that, that is all set of powers. That gives us 9 command points. So let's go and have a look at the Tau. Right, okay, so this is Graham's Tau force that's going to be doing battle against the Great Devourer. It is 1,992 points of Borkan Sept. So Graham's just going to run through what he's got in his force. So it's a battalion?
It's a battalion, yep.
Okay, so we'll start at the back. Obviously the big lad here, what's he equipped with?
Yep, he is equipped with the...
Obviously the big cannon there.
Cluster rocket system. He's got 4 destroyer missiles, 2 smart missile systems. He's burst cannon 2 down here.
Yep.
And big gun is a pulse blast cannon.
Pulse blast.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know you've got another version of that, haven't you?
Yeah.
The driver. Okay, you got a Riptide down here as well.
Riptide, yep. He is armed with the ion accelerator and the plasma rifles, and I've also given him a shield generator. He's got a shield generator as well.
Okay, he's got a shield generator. This has got a shield generator as well. 3 squads of Fire Warriors.
Yep, 3 squads of Fire Warriors.
Any
all
special weapons in there?
12, no, they're all pulse rifles.
Okay. Ethereal down here?
Ethereal, yep.
So you Warlord?
Bog standard, no.
Ah. These guys are the
drones?
Marker drones?
They are marker drones. I've got 2 squads of them.
Okay. Squad there. You've got a broadside.
Broadside, yeah. Heavy yield missile launcher and plasma.
Okie doke. I take it these are the other marker drones, yeah?
They're the other marker drones.
Okay.
Sorry, I did make a mistake. They're not armed with plasma, they're armed with a smart missile system.
So he's armed with smart missiles, and obviously he's got the plasma as well over there. Okay, and then you've got down here.
Yep, we've got Commander Shadow Sun, not me Warlord.
Okay.
And she's armed with the 2 fusion blasters and with the shield generator. All the squads here.
Is that 1, 2, 3 squads?
3 squads. All burst cannons and fusion, burst cannons and fusion, all armed with shield generators.
They get shield generators.
They get shield generators, yeah.
Okay. And in your reserves?
In my reserves, I've got the commander with the 3 fusion blasters and a shield generator. He's me Warlord. Okay. And we also have the broadside battlesuit squad. Not broadside, sorry. The crisis suit, sorry. Armed with burst and fusions, all of them with shield generators. So everything that can take a shield generator
has got a shield generator. Okay. So everything's pretty packed up to the 9s here. Okay, so I did finish deploying. Or have you got any relics or anything like that?
No, no relics.
Okay. And how many command points for that?
That gives us 3 command points for being Battleforged.
And then 5
and 5 for,
okay,
so that's
6, 7, 8.
8.
Okie doke. So I do get a +1 on the roll off here. So I'll just roll down. Cocked. Of course it is. Okay, 3 becomes a 4. Language, Timothy. Right, so it does look as though the Tyranids are hungry. Graham didn't want that. Do you want to try and seize?
Yes, actually.
Just about to say, you do get to seize.
Yeah!
Oh, damn it! Oh, right. Okay, so this commander for the Tau is clever. He stole the initiative out from underneath the Tyranids, and it will be going into turn 1 for the Tau. Right, so after the Tau have snatched the initiative, it looks as though they are on the advance actually. So this guy has remained stationary here, the broadside. The stealth teams have just pulled round just to get a better firing arc. The Riptide has moved up. The Storm Surge has all these guys. Have these remained stationary? They have, haven't they?
The Fire Warriors,
the Fire Warriors,
yes,
yeah. And
stationary.
he's cast Storm of Fire.
Storm of Fire.
These drones down here have advanced. And that's pretty much it for your movement.
Yeah.
What were your cards that you had?
Cards that I got was Supremacy, Hold the Line, Area Denial, No Prisoners, Scour the Skies, and Blood and Guts.
Okay, so area denial, obviously it was 9 inches, so obviously 9 inches spaced, so not really going to be able to do that. In order to get that, Graham will have to obliterate the front line to be able to deny me within away from that deployment to get the extra points. So apart from that, obviously deep strikers are not coming down, they are waiting. So we'll come back after the shooting phase. So it's a heat up the pulse rifles, ready to take down the Tyranid menace. Let's see what they're going to do. Right, okay, so we're just at the top of the shooting phase. So this stealth team, all burst cannons are going to fire in at this squad here.
Yeah.
Okay, so hitting on 4s.
We are hitting on...
Tau normally hit on 4s.
4s, yeah. Hitting on 4s.
Okay.
That's not bad. Not bad at all.
Okay, strength for the burst.
Strength of the burst, which is strength 5, toughness
3s to wounds, toughness 3.
Yep.
Okay.
2, 3, 4. That's 5 wounds.
Any minus?
It is no minuses. 1 damage.
1 damage. Okay, so 5 wounds you say, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, that is 5. And termagants, 5. Oh, I'll just quickly double check. I'm not 100% sure. Right, yeah, I thought I'd just double check. Been a while since I've had to make saves on these. 6 ups. 1 of them survives and 4 drop. So just take 4 off the
off the front or the back?
Off the front. Okay, that's 4 gone. That's that squad fired.
Alright, we're going to fire the other bursts from this squad.
That's the front squad there, yeah, at the same target.
Yeah.
They're all burst as well, yeah.
Not bursting a fusion. I'm going to fire the fusion if I'm in range. Yep, I'm going to fire the fusion at your
Flying high turret, okay.
Do the bursts first, hitting on 4s.
Yep. Not too bad. Not too bad for me anyway. And 3s to wound. 2 wounds.
2 wounds, 2 6s.
2 6 ups. Okay, another 2 dropped. Just take them off there.
Fusion, which is 1. Hitting on 4s. No.
Nope.
The other bursts, which...
So this is the ones behind
Shadow
Sun, yeah?
them up. Not in range.
Nope. And Shadow Sun herself, she'll be out. Or is she in? Or
she's out as well.
She's out as well. Okay, so we'll continue on with the rest of the... not too bad, actually. Impressive firepower there. So we'll continue on with the shooting and see what else the Graham can take out. Right, okay, so we are just back after shooting and the end of turn 1 for the Tau. Pretty decent. First blood scored. Graham wiped out the Termagant unit here. Took a lot of firepower to do it, which Graham wasn't too pleased about. Obviously, we saw these guys fire. The broadside fired, the Riptide fired, and the Storm Surge with his cluster rocket systems. A lot of his other stuff was out of range, and it took all that to kill. Maybe it's a little bit of wasted firepower there, but Graham's playing it a little bit safe and holding back. Will it be his undoing? We don't know. But he scored first blood there. Cards that you've scored as well.
We've got Area Denial.
Area Denial.
And it's within 12 of the centre, so that gets D3.
D3, yep.
So that is another 1. So
another 1.
2.
So puts him on 2 for that. You got Supremacy as well, didn't you?
And we've got Hold the Line.
Yep. Oh, that's for your deployment.
Another, so that's 3. D3 victory points for Supremacy. That's 3.
3, so that's 2.
That's another 2. So that's...
Supremacy held by these drones here, the broadside and the storm surge at the back there.
And we've got no prisoners, and I've only taken out 1 squad.
So another point there. So
another point, yeah.
It puts you on 6 points in turn 1. So the tower absolutely storming ahead in points. But the Great Devourer is wanting to get up close and devour them. So that puts them on, let's say, 6. And which you discarded?
Card I'm discarding is Blood and Guts.
Blood and Guts. So Deadlock, like you say, it goes down. So next it'll be 5. So let's go and have a look and see what the Tyranids are going to do on their turn 1. Right, okay, so after losing one of their squads, the Hive Mind is looking to adapt as quick as possible. So cards that we're getting first is Hold the Line, Decapitate, so kill a character, Terrify, Crush, which is a bit of a weird one, but basically if a monster or a unit with 10 or more kills something, I get a point, which is great. Dominate and Supremacy. So what we've done is this guy stayed stationary, the Carnifexes have stayed stationary, the Mutilid Spore at the back's just shifted down 3 inches just to claim this objective here. The Malanthrope is just staying where he is for the time being. The Hive Guard have just shifted up slightly so they're in range of this. This Hive Tyrant's just moved up. The Warlords just flew right over to there, looking to get into combat and just eat them to pieces. The Broodlord advanced 11, so he's just come up. And these guys actually got a 6 on their advance, so they've moved up 12. So from down there, up the stairs and across. So looking to claim that objective over here. Deep Strikers, they haven't come on yet, waiting for that opportunity. But we are going to go into Psychic phase and then shooting. So let's see what powers we can get off. Right, we are just back after Psychic and shooting phase on turn 1 for Tyranids. So Psychic, we cast Paroxysm from the Broodlord down to this unit that was down here, which is now gone. Then we cast Catalyst from this guy across onto the Gaunts. We also cast from the Warlord, we cast Psychic Scream and Smite down to this unit down here. We also cast Smite from this unit down to here. He did Peril as well, but he only lost 1 wound. So that is good there. Shooting, nothing to fire from here or the Gaunts. We fired the Hive Guard across, got a couple of hits, and that was targeted down to this squad that was down here, which is now wiped out, with help from the Exocrine. And then we fired the Venom Cannons all across in range at the Riptide and did no damage at all. So a little bit poor for shooting on that side of it, but we did clear a lot of these stealth teams out. We do have a charge to set off because we now have freed up our distance to get into combat with Shadow Sun. So Shadow Sun, of course, will have Overwatch.
Yep.
Okay. 2 shots with the fusions.
6s. No.
Nope. Okay, and our charge, which is a 4, which I will command point that. Just double check that I'm not going to get within an inch. Okay, so I will command point, reroll the 1. Okay, that gives us 5, 6, 7, 8. That will more than likely definitely get us in.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll move into combat there, and then I will deliberate what I'm going to do, and we'll probably catch this combat on camera. Right, okay, so we are in combat, as you have seen. So Hive Tyrant is going to attack with the Reaper of Obliterax against Shadow Sun. So 4 attacks, hitting on 2s. Oh, we do get 2 misses. I am going to command point one of them. Okay, so we got 3 hits. And for the Reaper of Obliterax, it is Strength of the user, I believe. Yes, it is. So that is Strength 6 against Toughness for Shadow Sun 4.
1, 2, 4. Yep, 4.
Okay. 3s. That is a cocked dice. Okay, so we get 2, but one of them with the Reaper of Obliterax is double damage. So that is AP -2. And it'll be 6 damage for the 6 and 3 damage for the other, so 9 damage in total.
AP minus 2.
AP minus 2, yeah.
That's 2 5 up, she gets 5 up in one anyway.
2 5 up invuns.
No.
No. So that is 9 damage in total.
Yeah, she did.
Okay, yep, she's dead.
I'm going to do a stratagem.
Okay, strategy time.
And the stratagem is... Oh, God, stratagem, which is... the repulsor impact failed. So... No, wrong one. Fail-safe detonator. Use the stratagem when a battle suit unit from your army is destroyed in the fight phase before removing the last model. Roll a dice for each unit, friend or foe, within 3 of the model. On a 4+, that unit suffers a mortal wound.
Okay, so it's pretty much like a guaranteed explosion result by the looks of it. So she is dead. Okay, so a 4 for the Hive Tyrant?
4 for the Hive Tyrant. Yep.
Yep, it's one more.
One mortal wound.
Yep, and for the stealth 2?
No.
Nope, so I will drop my wounds down to 4. Down to that. Okay, so that is her removed. Okay, so I'll just pull her off, and I will consolidate into combat with this guy here, unless he runs away. Okay, so that is combat all done. So we'll just quickly work our points, and we'll move into the Tau turn 2. Right, so we are just back at the end of Tyranids on their turn 1, just for points. We scored pretty much everything apart from Terrify. So that puts the Tyranids on 5 to the Tau's 6. So cards, obviously we got Dominate, we got Crush, and we got Supremacy. Pretty much all of them, like I say, apart from Terrify, because we were going to try and get Terrify with this guy over here, but Graham's just spent 2 command points to automatically pass. So he's currently down to 5, and the Tyranids are currently down to 7. We used 1 reroll earlier and 1 reroll just there for getting into combat. So we'll come back once Graham's done his movement and what cards he's drew. I have kept Terrify as well, so it'll be 5 cards this time for him. So we'll come back after movement for Tau on their turn 2. Right, so we are just back after movement for Tau on their turn 2. So this guy has fell out of combat over here. The Riptides just dropped back. The Storm Surge is just staying where he is. The Fire Warriors haven't moved either. This guy's staying where he is. The drones have just dropped back. And at the end, the Commander and... Is the Commander on the board?
Commander and the
Crisis team have just deep struck down. As for cards that Graham have pulled, what you're getting out this time?
We got Mission Critical Objective, which I rolled a d6 and we got 6. So
which is this one here.
Need to be doing that. We had Scour the Skies already.
Okay.
Psychological Warfare, so cause you to fail a morale test. Big Game Hunter.
Yep.
And we also got Defend Objective 3.
Which is this one where the Storm Surge is quite happy to sit on that. Okay, so Graham's just going to go into his shooting. So we will come back after the shooting phase. Right, so we are just back after the Tau shooting turn 2 and the entirety of the turn. No charges, of course, not with Tau. So as you can see, Warlord was destroyed. A lot of firepower coming in from the Crisis teams who took it out. He didn't explode with his death throws or anything like that. A lot of firepower coming in from the Riptide and the Storm Surge coming across, and of course the Broadside, taking these down to 2. Catalyst really helping out here. A lot of firepower would have easily been wiped out by the Riptide alone, but we passed 5 of our Catalyst saves, which was amazing. And apart from that, that was pretty much it for shooting. But points-wise, however, the Tau have absolutely stormed ahead, and they're currently on 9 points, because of course Slay the Warlord scored down here as well. So Graham's still got his Mission Critical Objective, Objective 6, which is what we're holding here. And the Defend Objective 5, that one?
Objective
3, sorry.
3.
Yeah. So Graham hasn't... Did you discard any there?
I discarded Psychological
Warfare. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because the Synapse, we will not be feeling morale. Okay, so we'll go into Tyranids for their turn 2. We need to get some points. We need to work and cluster together, I think, with the loss of the Warlord. it's up to the Broodlord, I think, now to take command. So we'll have a look and see what we can do. Right, so we are just back after movement for turn 2, sorry, for the Tyranids. So cards that we have pulled out is we've still got Terrify. We've pulled out Mission Critical Objective, and we rolled and we got a 6, which Objective 6 is here. We also have Secure Objective 4, which is down here. Behind enemy lines and advance. So we've moved up with the Hive Guard. Pretty much moved up with as many people as we could. The Mutilid Spores just staying where he is. He's probably not going to be very too handy there. It was mainly just for points, put him there, and also to deny any backline deep strikes. The Carnifexes have shifted up. The Exocrines moved up. The second Hive Tyrant is just moved up here. These guys have just moved up as well. And the Broodlord has advanced. So he did get 16-inch advance. So he's gone down and he's looking to get into combat down here. The end of the turn. A bit of rumbling under the ground. The Trigon Prime and the Gene Stealers that were in the tunnel have just popped up 9 inches away. So they're going to hopefully see if they can join the Broodlord and get into combat there as well. But first, we do have Psychic and Shooting to do. Hopefully we can whittle down some enemy units here, because the cards that were pulled out, I don't think we're really going to be getting a great deal of points. So we need to try and deny the Tau as much mobility as possible. And just not forgetting, right in the corner is the Mutilid Spore that's just deep struck down as well, more than 12 inches away. So at least we'll get behind enemy lines for this guy here. So we'll continue on. We'll do Psychic and then Shooting. Right, so we are just back after Psychic and Shooting. So Psychic phase, pretty decent. We cast the Horror and Paroxysm down to these Crisis team down here. And then we also cast Catalyst from the Hive Tyrant onto the Gene Stealers. Shooting did absolutely pathetic with this guy. However, a little bit of fire support coming in from the Hive Guard and the Exocrine took out the broadside here. And then, fantastically, we did play a Pathnogenic Slime from these guys. So they fired across. They got 3, 6, 9. They got 3, 6. They got 8 shots. They all hit. And we put 4 wounds at AP -2 and 3 damage, but with Pathnogenic Slime, 4 damage apiece. And Graham failed his invuns, so we dealt out 16 wounds, took out the Riptide, which is amazing. So apart from that, we do have some charges, of course. We do want to get into combat, so we're going to charge the Broodlord into the Crisis team down here. We're going to charge the Gene Stealers alongside as well. And a bit of overkill, but we're going to try and charge the Trigon Prime into this lonely guy down here. So we'll do that one first. So your Overwatch against the Trigon Prime,
which is 1 Fusion Blaster. Hits.
He does hit.
Strength 8, toughness
7.
3s. Doesn't wound.
Nope. And our charge 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We should be in because we have to be over 9.
Yeah.
Yep, that gets us in there. Broodlord going into the Crisis team. Now this is going to be a bit tricky to see if we can get in. Work out Overwatch because of Paroxysm. So I know it's a little bit out of order, but we'll work this out. We just need to double check. So 6 inches will get him into combat there. The Gene Stealers, see if they get in. 6, 10 again. Should be enough.
Yeah.
Okay, they get in as well. So we'll work out for Overwatch, because just with Paroxysm being on, I don't think they're going to be able to. But we'll have a look and see what happens. We killed that guy down there. We knew we would, and we've just consolidated 3 inches closer towards the Tau line. Probably a lot of gunfire is going to come in at him, but that's part and parcel of breaking into a Tau line. Down here, we wiped out, we didn't even need the Genestealers. The Broodlord wiped out the entire unit of the Crisis team, and the Genestealers and the Broodlord consolidated into combat with the commander. And apart from that, that is everything all done. So points, we scored 1 for behind enemy lines, which is for this guy down here. So we are currently on 6 to the Tau's 9. So let's go and have a look and see what the Tau can do. We have also discarded Advance. So we still have Terrify, Secure Objective 4 and Mission Critical Objective, which is Objective 6. So we will have a look and see what the Tau can do in response on their turn 3. So from turn 3 onwards, the points for our stratagems are doubled because we are playing Deadlock. So I am currently down to 4 command points as well for using Pathogenic Slime and rerolls as well. So we'll have a look and see what the Tau can do on their turn 3. Right, we're just back after movement has been completed for Tau on their turn 3. So the cards that Graham has pulled out, he has Orders Received, which is a bonus. It gives him a bonus objective, which is Warlord must complete, which he's getting Ambush. And what's Ambush do again? Just kill a unit.
Is destroy a unit and make them fail morale.
Fail morale.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's that one.
Kingslayer.
Kingslayer, yeah, which is pretty much guaranteed for that. Still have Mission Critical Objective, Objective 6.
Yep. And Defend Objective 3.
Defend Objective 3. So that is 4 objectives in total, but technically Graham has 5 because of his special orders that he's been given. So for movement wise, the marker drones have just come underneath here. Marker drones have just come around there. The Warlord, now there was a bit of debate here. Graham's obviously, I think he's done the right decision. So he's jumped out of combat. He was originally going to push back to here and assist the rest of his army against these down here, but he's jumped up to here because these are only 2 units left, and I think it's pretty much guaranteed he's going to wipe that out, which will give him in total 4 points for that alone. Now, obviously, these guys are staying stationary. The Tau Fire Warriors are holding the line there, as well as this guy here, which pretty much, he's already pretty much scored that anyway, so that's guaranteed.
Storm of Fire.
Storm of Fire, yep, that has been activated across this line here. So the Tau, seeing the creatures coming towards them, I think the commander knows what he's doing, so we're going to see what he can do. Go into shooting. So are you going to open up shooting with this guy?
We'll do the commander, yeah.
Okay, so we'll come back once Graham's deliberated where he wants to put his targets. Right, so we are just at the top of the shooting, so Graham is going to fight the commander with all 3 of his fusion into the poor little termagants down here.
2s.
Hit on 2s. Okay, all hits.
All hit.
Strength of fusion?
8.
8. 2s again.
Yeah.
Okay, and that'll be -4, is it?
-4. Dead.
Okay, yeah, they're dead. Okay, yeah, so that pretty much guarantees Graham 4 points already for that. I think it was clever to do that. It's something I would have done. A lot of other firepower are going to be dished out elsewhere as well. So Tau obviously take a long time for shooting, so we're not going to film everything, but we'll come back if anything does important happen. So we'll come back in a moment. Right, we are just back after shooting for Tau. Just as an addendum, obviously we forgot that Graham scored that in my turn. So the new card that he drew was
Patient Hunter.
Patient Hunter. What's that again?
Score 1 victory point if 1 or more enemy units were slain by a unit from your army in your deployment.
In your deployment, okay, which Graham has done. So, obviously we've seen that he'd killed the termagants down here. A couple of firepower coming in at this guy as well. No damage done. A lot of firepower coming in from the Storm Surge, and all 3 squads of these finally killed the Genestealers, and the last squad dropped the Broodlord down to 3 wounds. So not too bad there. So points that Graham's currently on. He's up the Tau, absolutely steaming ahead. He's on
6, 12, 18, 19.
19 to the Tyranid 6. So it's pretty much all out. I need to kill the Tau. It's probably highly unlikely I'm going to get points, so I think I'm going to have to try and do the wipeout here. Any assaults for the Tau?
No.
No? You sure?
Yeah.
Okay, so, yep, Tau's doing really, really well, storming ahead, but we need to start a movement here. So
it's not over yet.
It's not over. Yep, it's not over yet. But we are lacking on our front line. We need to get these boys up and dish their firepower in the just being staying stationary to get the best shots. But we are going to have to shift them out. But we're going into Tyranid turn 3. Hopefully we can do some damage. Let's see what we can do. Right, so we have moved turn 3 for Tyranids. Right, cards that we've drew. We've still got Terrify. Still got Mission Critical Objectives number 6. We've still got Secure Objective 4, which is down here. And the new one that we drew was Devour. So we score 1 victory point if we kill something in the fight. And obviously the more that we kill, the more points that we'll get. But at this stage, we do ideally need to go for the wipeout. So, Hive Tyrant has just came flying straight over here. Don't know what I'm going to do with him yet, but I think I've got other plans for this guy. The Broodlords, at the end of the movement phase, I've used all 4 of my command points because the points are doubled for the cost and done rapid regeneration. And he got all 3 of his wounds back, so he's just going to try and get into combat over here. The Trident Prime is looking straight at these guys down here. We know that we're going to get shot at, but we need to make moves. The Carnifexes have shifted up, the Malanthrope advanced, and these guys have stayed stationary, as well as the Exocrine this turn as well. The Mutilid just staying where he is, but this one just moving up its standard 3 inches. So we're going to go into Psychic, hopefully we can do some damage there. And then shooting as well, so we'll come back in a moment. Right, so we are just back after Psychic and shooting. Quite an impressive round, to be fair. So powers, first of all, as you can see, the Warlord is gone. That was Smite from the Hive Tyrant, casting on a 7 because of the new rules. We did suffer perils as well, and we took 3 wounds, but we did kill him because we did get a 12, and we rolled a 3 to kill him. He only had 1 wound left. Firepower came into him from, we split fire, so we shot 2 of the Hive Guard into him and 1 of the Hive Guard down across to this back unit here. We fired the Exocrine. We did 2 shots and they were both, 1 shot was down at these marker drones there, and then the other one was at them marker drones there and wiped them both out, getting 4 wounds and -2, couldn't save, killed them. The Carnifexes, we shot 1 Carnifex into the back squad here and reduced them down, and then we shot the other 2 into the Storm Surge and dropped 3 wounds off them. We then cheekily forgot about Biostatic Rattle, so we fired that into this squad and reduced 4 from that, and reducing this squad by 7 in total. So not bad at all there. And apart from other sighted powers, we cast the Horror onto the Storm Surge, and that was pretty much it. That and Smite. We did try to cast Catalyst, but we failed. So we do have some charges to set off. I'll come back once I've decided where I want to go, because I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do yet. So we'll come back in a moment. Right, so we are just back after the assaults and going into Tau turn 4. Turn 4 is going to be the last turns just for model count. And obviously time as well. It's like almost like 11:30 here, so people have work to go to. So combat, we failed to get into combat with this guy. Oh, so devastated there. But we got in combat with the Hive Tyrant and with the Trident Prime. We took a lot of firepower on Overwatch coming in, but he is still kicking. He is on 5 wounds. The 1 represents his powers. I don't know where his dice is gone, but he is on 5 wounds. This guy didn't take any damage coming in, so he's smashed this guy down to 7 wounds. So very good there. And we took out 2 people down here, 2 of the Fire Warriors. In morale, this unit failed by 1, and this unit passed just because they're using the Ethereal's leadership. So apart from that, that is all combat's done that we could do. That's the end of the turn. We scored 1 point. 1 measly point for Terrify. And we also have no command points left, because if I did, I'd have totally re-rolled that, but you live and learn. So we're going to go into turn 4 for Tau and see what they get for the cards. Don't think Graham needs any more points, he just needs to survive, basically. So we'll have a look and see what happens after turn 4 movement for Tau. Right, we're just back after movement for Tau on their turn 4. So, what has happened? So, these guys are obviously still there. Them guys are still there. These are still in combat. The Ethereal's staying where he is. And the Storm Surges fell out of combat. And that is pretty much it for the movement. Cards that the Graham has drew on this round, which will just be the 3.
Cards, I've still got missing critical objective, which is 6, which I'm not going to get that.
Over here.
Tactical withdrawal, which is score 1 victory point if at least one enemy unit is destroyed in a shooting phase that was within 1 inch of any of your units on the start of your turn.
Okay.
So potentially, yeah, Trigon.
That'll be the Trigon Prime, yep.
And multiple distractions. Score 1 victory point if there is at least one enemy unit wholly within 12 inches of the battlefield edge, and at least one enemy unit wholly within 12 inches of the opposite battlefield. I'm not going to get that.
Okay, so right, so movement has been completed. So Graham's also done Storm of Fire from the Ethereal, so he's going to open up with some firepower. We are just going to start recording the entire phase now, just with time, and also just to get things moving, because there's not a great deal left on the board. So we'll come back after the end of the turn. Right, so we have just done the entire phase, shooting and surprise, surprise, combat from Tau. So, shooting first of all, a lot of firepower coming in at the Broodlord, and he has been killed. That was firepower coming in from the Fire Warriors. A little bit of help coming in from the Storm Surge, got 1 hit from the Cluster Rocket system because he was hitting on 6s, 5 for his damage bracket and -1 for the Horror. So he did manage 1 wound, and then the rest of them came in from the Fire Warriors. And the Fire Warriors have gone into combat with the Hive Tyrant, and they did shoot into... the Storm Surge backed off, shot into at the rest of his weapons at the Trigon Prime, did no damage, and then it's gone into combat. Didn't do any damage, but we've dropped them down to 4, sorry. Combat across here, a Fire Warrior, a cheeky little Fire Warrior, pulling out his little samurai sword, stabbed this guy and took a wound off, and we killed 1 in return. So apart from that, points did you score there?
Points, I don't think I got any, to be honest.
I think Graham's just gone for the survivability here.
No.
No points scored.
No points.
Okie doke. So we are going to go into the final turn, which is Tyranids on their turn 4. Let's see if we can do this. Right, so it is the end of the game, and it is a Tau victory. So me and Graham both agreed after turn 4 that was going to be it, just on time. So what's happened? Well, we've pretty much wiped everything out using our psychic abilities and shooting coming in from X-Crime did really well. The Carnifexes wiped out these squads down here. Then we took them out in combat. We destroyed the Storm Surge in combat and consolidated. Not enough to get into combat here, but it came down to the Ethereal and 1 Fire Warrior. So with 2 models left, the Tau have gone through to the next round. So Tyranids come crashing out of the tournament. I think if it had gone on to 5, we'd have definitely won, but we both agreed. Points-wise, however, Graham did absolutely brilliantly on points. He's on a huge amount of points here. What's that, 12?
6,
I think he's on
12,
19 here.
18, 19.
Yep, 19 to the Tyranids 9. Because we did get line breaker with this little blob over here. So it has been a really, really good game. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It came right the way down the wire. Like I say, I know some guys will be like, well, it should have got to turn 5, but, you know, we have work in the morning and time frames. We just want to get this game filmed out as well, which is great. I think it's done very, very well. Graham's list was pretty good. A bit of a shame that the Gene Stealers pretty much didn't get to do anything, but that's the way that games go. So I hope you've enjoyed this one, and we will have a look and see for the next episode, and then we'll go on to the next rounds. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and until next time, happy wargaming. Right guys, that's it. That is a Tau victory. Very good for points-wise there. I'd have totally slaughtered you if we'd gone on to turn 5.
Oh, definitely.
But no, we did agree that we were going to end it after turn 4, just so that we could have time to go to bed, buys.
It's like midnight.
Yep. So yeah, absolutely brilliant. Thoroughly enjoyed that game. Loved playing with my Tyranids. And you thoroughly enjoyed that list as well.
I did. I enjoyed the Tau list, and I played it about 2 times. This is the first time I've played it with a new codex. I'm just so glad that we get to see
Codex is good, isn't it, for the Tau? Yeah, it is
I'm
good.
just glad that we get to see the Tau now move into the
next
round.
stage. Yeah. So, so the next game looks as though that's shaping up to be Grey Knights versus Ultramarines,
Yes,
I believe.
It's an Imperial battle.
It is, yeah. So we'll have to obviously we'll do a roll off at some point and decide who's playing who. Obviously, both armies are your armies, Graham. So
yes.
I'll have to have a bit of research on tactics for whichever one that I get. So it'll be interesting for that. Maybe there's a bit of heresy going on in the Ultramarines, and the Grey Knights have turned up to.
We could follow it on from the actual game, Space Marine.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So yeah, thoroughly enjoyed that game. I think the board and everything was set out great. Enjoyed a lot of the stratagems. Like I said, really enjoying Tyranids lately. I think Deadlock was a bit of a difficult one for both of our armies there because we had a lot of points to use, but after turn 3, they're obviously doubling the points.
Yeah.
You were wanting to use one of your stratagems, weren't you? Your repair mechanism for your storm surge, and you couldn't because you didn't have enough points to do it.
I had like 3, but it was going to cost 4.
Yeah, it's normally 2, yeah, but it was good. It was a good laugh. So, so I hope you've enjoyed this one, guys. Like I say, if you like what you've seen, please give us a like and sub. It does really help us out. We're almost at 500. It'd be awesome if we can get to 500 before the end of May, which is really, really quickly.
Next week?
Yep, next week. So, yeah, that'd be really, really cool. So give us a like and a sub, and obviously hit the bell button so you don't miss an upload. And apart from that, thanks for watching, guys, and until next time, happy wargaming.